Okay, so a quick follow-up to my last video with regards to taming your beard without trimming or cutting it. At the request of my little brother, uh, the inspiration. He's actually one of the guys that I emulated when I got started growing this little beard thing. Anyway, what he suggested was a demonstration of the hot comb, or in some cases, some people use the heated brush as well. Just so happens that I had one. I've had one for the longest time. I've only tried it maybe one time. I don't know. Never really was into it, but it is an option with respect to getting your beard tamed if it's unruly. As you can see, this is pretty unruly. I washed it and combed it out just so we could see the results to this. Now, as per the instructions, and I'll include a link as to where I bought mine. I bought it on Amazon, and I think it was like 20 bucks or 23 bucks it came out to with the shipping. But in either case, they want you to utilize it dry, not moist. Okay, so that's number one. It has a removable guide, which is like a safeguard. So this actually prevents the blade, the heated surface of the hot comb from making contact with your skin and staying too long on the actual hairs, because you don't want to burn the hairs, of course. All right. It didn't, in the instructions, I didn't read anything about having any types of oils in your hair. In this case, I don't. I just have some Hawaiian Silky 1401 Miracle Worker that also is, for the most part, dry. So that being said, let's get into it. But before we get into it, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit that gray notification bell in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This way you'll be made aware of future videos. That being said, so we're going to get right into it. You're basically using this thing as you would any regular comb or anything like that. I can tell you that I can feel the heat. It's not burning my skin. I don't feel like I'm staying on my hair too long. And I think even from the onset, we can definitely see a big difference in terms of how the hair is obviously, number one, straightening and laying down. Now, I especially find this useful for the hairs on the side here, because it's very light here, number one. But these hairs tend to be the most unruly. There's not a lot of weight holding them down, so they don't want to lay flat. So I see definitely a good result when it comes to that. If you recall, when I used the whole spray, I basically put it on and then I patted it down. Same thing. Now, keep in mind that this solution will only last for as long as the hair remains dry. So it's a good one time, one day, or morning routine if you're heading off to work, or if you're heading out to an event or something like that you want to keep it looking a certain way. If it's a humid day, if it's a hot day and you perspire, the straightening effect is going to kind of go out the window. Now you can, which I've heard, you can use, styling gels, things like that help work with the heat that's being given to the beard, and also help to hold it in place once you've straightened it. You could do that. You could even straighten it, and then what I would do is I would use a light, very light mist. I'd hold the bottle of hold spray. Once again, the Rave Climashield, that's the one I use. I think it's upside down when you look at it there, but I'll include a link to that. But what I would do, instead of holding it very close to my beard, which I probably did when I did the last video, I would probably hold it a little bit farther. This way I get a lighter mist. So I'd probably hold it maybe 6 inches away. I'd have to kind of shield my face so it doesn't get in my eyes, whatever. But a little bit further away, a little bit lighter mist on the beard, and then just basically pat it into shape. Now, this is great for me for the sides, probably up until I get to the hairs on my actual, chin, which are the ones that grow the longest. The reason why I say that is because I really don't want to add the effect of a longer beard, especially in the front. It gives it a very boxy look, which is cool, but I don't necessarily want it to look that much longer. If you notice in the video I did before, I kind of patted that down, patted it in, squeezed it in, rounded it off a little bit to take away from that height, or length rather. So where I would probably use this myself and focus more would be on the much lighter hairs at the side and the back of my beard. On the sides, I would definitely, kind of curl underneath a little bit, hook underneath a little bit, try and get those hairs to lay down. And then depending on the process, be it if I'm using a whole spray or whatever, I might just apply that. So I'm not really trying to do too much to the chin. But definitely you can see a difference in the way I started and the way the hairs look now that I've used the comb. I don't really have much of a mustache, but it can be used on the mustache. And again, I only feel a light heat. I don't feel, a tremendous amount of heat on my skin. And that's most likely due to that protective guard that comes with it. I got this on Amazon. The price I don't think was more than about $20, $25 inclusive of the shipping. All right, so that's pretty much it as far as that's concerned. I could go a little bit slower. I could, as far as the heat and as far as the strokes going through the beard, but you can definitely see that overall, even as light as the beard is, you can see that the hairs are definitely much straighter, and it works great on those really curly, hard to reach, hard to comb, hard to tame hairs underneath. So what I would even do if I was really going through the process, I would probably do a few strokes forward to straighten them out a little bit and then come down and straighten them this way. Because ultimately this is the direction that I comb the beard in, so I want to stay in that direction as I use the hot comb. All right. That's it. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.